Pro-European groups will be out in force on Saturday for a so-called National Day of Action, with hundreds of events taking place across the country. Activists and supporters from pro-EU pressure groups Open Britain, the European Movement and Britain for Europe will stage events in every part of the UK, in areas that voted both Remain and Leave. Big demonstrations will be held in large population centres including London, the West Midlands, Cardiff, Newcastle, Edinburgh, and Belfast. In addition, there will be more than 350 smaller events taking place up and down the UK, from Aberdeen in the north of Scotland, to Falmouth in Cornwall. At a similar pro-Europe demonstration last year, organisers are hoping thousands of activists and supporters will be taking part, and are proposed to hand out 500,000 leaflets. In addition, more than 100 street stalls will be set up in towns and cities across Britain, both in areas which voted Remain and those which voted to Leave. Campaigners will then launch a new People's Vote campaign off the back of the event, calling for the British people to get a fresh vote on the Brexit deal before we quit the EU. Pro-EU MPs including Labour's Chuka Umunna and Toriana Soubry will be among those addressing the London event. Get Labour MP Chuka Umunna and Toriana Soubry will address the London event. We can speak with one, unified, voice because we know that together we are stronger. James McGrory, Executive Director of Open Britain. James McGrory, Executive Director of Open Britain, said, "Our largest ever National Day of Action is all about bringing together the various pro-European groups so that we can speak with one, unified, voice because we know that together we are stronger." James McCleary, Campaign Director of European Movement UK, added, "The pro-European movement is gaining in strength and momentum, and that progress will be reflected this weekend with a huge demonstration of grassroots power in favour of a people's vote on the Brexit deal." And Anne Wayman, Vice Chairwoman of Britain for Europe, said, "We may come from different political parties, different traditions and different groups, but we are united by our desire for the people to have their say on the Brexit deal, and we are determined to make sure their voice is heard loud and clear." The national events come 2 days after Best for Britain, a separate campaign group, unveiled plans to launch a lawsuit aimed at securing a second referendum, must read, this weekend. Along with 8 other pro-European organizations, thousands of activists will take to the streets demanding a vote on final Brexit deal. T.co weblink pic.twitter.com weblink Open Britain, at Open Britain April 13, 2018. The organization argues that any future arrangements will amend or replace existing EU treaties, and should therefore be subject to the 2011 European Union Act, which introduced a referendum lock for laws with wide-ranging consequences. In a statement, the group said, "Best for Britain believes that when David Cameron and hundreds of Conservative MPs voted for a referendum lock, they voted to give the people a say, through a public vote if there were fundamental changes in the treaties. Leaving the EU will be the most significant treaty change yet, and transition arrangements are likely to mean a big transfer of powers to Brussels." Best for Britain's CEO Eloise Todd added, "This case is simply about having the right for people to make sure their voice matters on the biggest change in our country's direction since the Second World War."